Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, here to react to the Raptors' 128-110 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we titled last video the most painful loss of the season. This one was even more demoralizing. It was just the toughest thing to swallow for Raptors fans. We got blown out by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I just want to get straight into the action because to let out all this frustration. We're going unorthodox podcast. We're going straight into the segments, and tonight the DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award. It's renamed for today and probably for the rest of the playoffs unless something changes. The Serge Ibaka Gold Star Award, because this man has been awful. He's been horrendous. I didn't know what was going on. He looked lost. He looked confused, and was just making the most. I never seen Serge Ibaka's been bad at times. I've never seen him this bad. He caught the ball at the beginning of the game, threw up a post hook, complete error, nothing. It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out there. It was awful to see. At the start of the half, KC gave him another shot. He only played 12 minutes tonight, but it was enough to kill the Raptors with those 12 minutes. KC gave him another shot at the beginning of the half, got the ball over half court, and the first time he touched it, he got the ball over half, randomly just drops it. It looked like, I don't know, a third-grade team and a little kid just fooling around, just dropping a basketball, not knowing what he's doing. J.R. Smith went down. I don't know. Serge Ibaka really needs to wake up. Playoff Serge, he's dead. He's dead. That's the only thing I can put to it, because, I don't know, he's great the first two games of the playoffs against the Wizards, and then ever since then, he's disappeared. He's gone missing. I don't know what happened. This guy has been in so many playoff games with the OKC Thunder, been to the finals. He's been in the finals. And this is how he's performing? I don't know what's up with this guy. He's awful. Something needs to change for Serge, or we're going to keep the title, the Serge Ibaka Gold Star Award, because man's been waste. And tonight the Cleveland Cavaliers made a lot of adjustments. A lot of adjustments to their game that we'll get into later. But they kept their starting unit the same, and we obviously did as well. But, man, we need to get Serge out of the starting unit. They're starting Kevin Love at center. Kevin Love at center. There was points in the beginning of this game, at the starting, the time of the game where you set the tone, and the start of the second half where we were just destroyed. It was embarrassing at the beginning of the second half, where Serge Ibaka was guarding J.R. Smith because we kept these lineups on. Serge Ibaka is not going to do anything against J.R. Smith. He's not going to do anything against anyone. He's not going to do anything against a fifth-grade team. If he's trying to guard J.R. Smith, he can't guard a guard. Our defense was awful, and we're going to get into that further, but, man, Casey needs to start Fred. I don't know what we're doing not playing Fred. I know he's injured. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or anything, but if he's going to play, you got to play him. He played 24 minutes tonight, but Fred VanVleet, he's the only guy that stabilizes our offense. Him and OG are the only two that look not shook as hell out there, which is crazy because Fred's an undrafted second-year player and OG's a rookie going against one of the greatest players of all time. But they're the only two that's not overreacting to everything that's happened in the game and look completely shook to LeBron James and the refs and all that, which we're going to get into all that. So I don't know. My opinion is move OG to the 4, let him guard LeBron, and start Fred. We need Fred playing all we can if we want a chance to get back in the series. So that's my take on it. JV, man, the dude can dominate on offense in this series. And he did for stretches tonight again. And he made his layups. He made all those shots. 16 points, 12 rebounds for JV, 8 of 11 from the field. But if we're going to go away from JV on the offensive end, because there's stretches where he had the post-ups and we just didn't look for him inside. We randomly go through stretches where we give JV the ball and it really works and we just stop. And if we stop, okay, fine. We'll go to someone else, but he cannot be on the floor. He is, if he's not giving you anything on offense, he's such a minus on defense, it kills the Raptors. Especially with the adjustments the Cavs made tonight. Really stretching the floor, making JV move as much as possible. The JV, unless Tristan Thompson's on the court, it's not a good look for JV on the defensive end. But you can capitalize on that on the other side because he's so big. If we just give him the ball almost every possession, because he can score every possession. So, I don't know. If we're not giving JV the ball, Casey's got to get him out. So those are adjustments. We'll look for all these adjustments from Casey next game. He's really got to make some moves. But I don't know. We saw it from Cleveland. The same thing. Casey, after the second half when Serge Ibaka was a complete mess, he ran a lineup that we saw earlier, I think in the Washington games, maybe in the end of the regular season. I don't know. But we've seen this lineup before with Pascal Siakam at center. It worked horribly. But I credit him for testing it out. It didn't work. Tonight he tried it out again to switch it up. That was such a mess. That's really the time of the game where the game got crazy out of hand at the second half. I don't know who else was on the court, but our front court, our power forward was C.J. Miles, and our center was Pascal Siakam. And C.J. Miles was human barbecue chicken for Kevin Love. Barbecue chicken. Kevin Love was in the post, and every time LeBron. See, this is the difference. The Cleveland Cavaliers, when they had a mismatch, LeBron James gave the ball to Kevin Love every possession. And you know what? They scored every time. Every single time. Every time C.J. Miles was guarding Kevin Love, they scored. And Kevin Love has been atrocious this whole playoffs. But tonight, because we didn't know how to match up against him, the Cavs made adjustments. We couldn't deal with them. Kevin Love had 31 points and 11 rebounds. You know what? Against the Pacers, they made adjustments as well. Kevin Love was still garbage. We need to learn how to adjust quicker to these teams. We are supposed to be a top 5 defense in this NBA. We're supposed to be a top 5 defense. But no, when teams have enough time to make a game plan against us, the Cleveland Cavaliers can drop 128 points. That's absurd. There's something wrong up there. I don't know if it's mental or if it's game planning. Something needs to change. Game 3 or in the offseason. If we want any chance of coming back in the series, which is very possible, it's definitely possible, but things need to change. And that's just the face of it. That's just reality. We can't keep beating a dead horse. Our backcourt, DeMar and Lowry, they weren't bad tonight. They weren't bad. DeMar had 24 points on 11 of 23 shooting. It would be nice if he could hit a 3. He went 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. 3 assists. Maybe like to see him do a bit more facilitating. But his defense was garbage. DeMar got to stop losing these players on the defensive end. It's awful to watch. And the most frustrating thing about it is we've seen DeMar be a good defender when he's focused, when he's locked in defensively. It's not even like he's OG where he has to guard some sort of generational talent one-on-one. He just has to make sure Kyle Korver doesn't move away from him. That's all he has to do. Keep track of this guy, keep a hand up. He doesn't have to move his feet at all. DeMar's a crazy athlete. He can keep up with some 34-year-old three-point shooter. I don't know. So DeMar, offensively, he was fine. It was good to see. Kyle Lowry was great in the first half. Really came out ready to play. I was really impressed with what I saw from Kyle Lowry. Hitting his threes, attacking the rim. He looked really impressive that first half. But that leads into the refereeing for this basketball game. It's atrocious. When the game was close, the reffing was horrendous. That's the only way to put it. But it's what we have to expect. I don't want to get into this. I tweet about it. We don't want to talk about the frustration. It's not why we lose. Because you know what? The Pacers, they got atrocious refereeing too. I watched most of those games. The same calls that LeBron got in them and the Cavs, the teammates of LeBron got in them, is what they've gotten against the Raptors. It's not hate against the Raptors. It's just LeBron's greatness is going to get him calls. And it's unfair. It sucks. And, we can talk about the horrendous charge call that swung the momentum where Kyle Lowry picked up his third foul. DeMar and Lowry both ended the game with 5 fouls. And it kills our team. But that's the problem with the Toronto Raptors. We deal with bad refereeing or shots not falling stupid things. We deal with the things that are out of our control the worst out of any team I've ever seen, any good team I've ever seen. If we miss a layup or there's a bad call, LeBron James is a crazy dunk or embarrasses someone, we don't bounce back for another 5 possessions. Our team is not mentally tough. We're very talented. We work great as a unit. We have all the game planning, all that stuff. We aren't mentally tough. The only 2 mentally tough guys I've seen on the court are OG Anunoby and Fred VanVleet. They're the only 2 I see that don't get shook after a missed shot or a thing. And they're not our two most talented guys. I'd argue that Serge, Jonas, even CJ Miles is a better shooter than OG, right? These guys are, but those two guys are our rocks, and that's where veteran leadership is supposed to come in. That's where that it factor is. That Paul Pierce, as much as I hate the guy, as the it factor. We can't bounce back from bad calls, from missed layups, or anything like that. It kills us for the next 5 possessions. We need our veterans to step up because OG is a rookie. Fred VanVleet is a second-year undrafted player. We need it coming from our veterans. That's where good teams get their leadership from their veterans, from their top guys. And we don't have it. We do not have that. And it kills us because it's not against every team. That's the thing. It's only against teams with generational talent. Because I guess DeMar and Lowry look at Al Horford on the Celtics or James Harden on the Rockets as kind of equals. They aren't legend status or something like that. But they see LeBron James and they're like, oh my God, this guy is a GOAT. He's one of the greatest of all time. And if he gets a call, oh no, we're screwed. That's Steph Curry. That's why we never beat the Warriors. That's why we never beat the Cavs. And I don't know. It's something we got to get over. It's something we got to get over if we want to win this series. Because we'll beat the Celtics. We'll beat the Sixers, who don't have any top players yet. But once we see one of those big names, we get shook. I don't know why. It's just what happens. But I've been rambling here enough. We'll get into the OG's play of the night, and it's going to the entire fourth quarter when LeBron James turned into Dirk Nowitzki / Michael Jordan / Steph Curry. I don't know what he turned into, but he made about 8 straight post fadeaways. It was embarrassing. And OG was playing phenomenal defense too. That was the thing that shook me even most. LeBron was just getting, he was getting everything. Left me speechless. It made it even harder to watch the end of the game. LeBron, he toyed with us. He knew we were down. He kicked us while we were down, and I don't even care if we win the series. Like, obviously I want the Raptors to win. I think it's still possible. But if we don't fight, if we don't go into Cleveland and try and punch, like, obviously not literally punch the guy in the mouth, but bounce back from that, because that was embarrassing. The Raptors, as a fan of the Toronto Raptors, knowing friends that are Celtics fans and Sixers fans, just being a fan of the Toronto Raptors, I was embarrassed watching LeBron James toy with us. The guy, LeBron James, tonight, had 43 points and 14 assists. 19 of 28 shooting. That's absurd. To let a guy do that, one guy, it's embarrassing. I don't know how other way to put it. We need to come back stronger. And this is a true test of the Raptors' character. It's a test of our character. Not even if we win. That's already, going to be tough. I still hope it can happen. I know listeners of the pod know I'm over optimistic about the Toronto Raptors a lot. That's just how I am as a fan, and but that's just who I think it's possible for us to win. But if we don't come back and put up a fight, if we get swept again and prove Skip Bayless right, or all these haters, it's not only a bad look on the franchise, it's a bad look on the whole fan base, the team, everything. So I just want us to bounce back and not be embarrassed. It's going to be tough, Cleveland on the road. And finally, the GOAT play of the day. There's no GOAT play of the day today. This game was too bad. I know a couple people tweeted and said the time Tristan Thompson got elbowed in the eye, like, it got a bit bloody. I don't even know what happened. I think it was Kyle Lowry by accident, but that's someone getting hurt. It's not the GOAT play of the day. It's going to Bebe. When Bebe came in, Bebe and Norm and Lorenzo Brown. Lorenzo Brown hit a 3 at the end of the game. We knew the game was over, and we were put out of our misery from watching that horrendous second half. So Lorenzo Brown, Bebe, and Norm, y'all get the GOAT play of the day. Anyways, that's enough from me rambling. I apologize if this podcast was incoherent, but the game, I know it's got everyone just frustrated. We need to bounce back. I'm I don't know. I want to know where you guys are at as a fans of the Toronto Raptors, or if you're not a fan of the Toronto Raptors, what are your thoughts on the team? I think I'm at a place where I'm halfway in between Raptors and 6 and tank for RJ Barrett. I'm somewhere in between those extremes. I want to know where you guys are at. Are you more Raptors and 6 or tank for RJ Barrett? Let me know in the comment section below. You guys are the best. If you made it through this 15-minute or however long it is podcast after that horrendous game, you're a real one. You guys are the best. Check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, the Raptors got to bounce back. They got to. Thanks for listening.